another investigation. Now this is looking at the history of Crete. Now, as you know, Crete is supposed to be an ancient civilization. As you see, go back to 7. Right? So straight away you got your 7 there. And then as you see, become part of the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, all these. Again, this Byzantine thing, right? You've got the Zayan 7 in the Byzantine. Right? By is obviously the dualistic. Right? And basically, this history of Crete is referring to concrete. Right? Now, when you're talking about concrete, obviously the con, ancient Crete. So we're talking about this part here. It says earliest known use of concrete-like materials. That's garbage because, as you know, they were using stone right up to where. In fact, they were using stone in Europe right up to say 1500s or something like that. Right? They were using stone in Europe, right? So what they're saying is Syria and Jordan, right? They weren't even using. There was nothing in Syria and Jordan, like the deserts, So that's crap, right? So you're talking about the development of concrete, this, the 1800s, this is when it come about, right? So basically, when you had things such as the Egyptian pyramids, right? And obviously all them things that's supposed to be in Crete, in Greece, like the Acropolis and all that, right? Were basically done in the early 1800s, right? So the whole thing's a con. Obviously Masonic con to fit in with their agenda and timeline of their fake history. But here's the thing about the Minoan civilization, right? The Minoans were supposed to be Europe's first civilization, right? The Minoans. Another example of that fake stuff, the Knossos Palace. The Minoans were supposed to be the first civilization, right? And as you see, Min. Basically, when you have Min, right, in Noah's Ark, you've got Noah's Ark, which is obviously a Hebrewist concept, and then Min, which is something to do with Jewish stuff, Right? So basically, it's coordinating the first civilization in Europe was the Jewish. Again, it's coming from 1800 about, around about 1800. Meaning a kind of species or a sort of people, Preposition min from or out of. Right? So this Minoan civilization is coding in the Jewish idea. Noah's Ark, right? Noah's Ark. So they arrived in Greece around about 1800, right, and entered Europe. And if you know the term, Greece is basically like a way in to Europe from Africa and the Asiatic areas and all that. Right? Mean kind or type. Mine. So this is basically the code, right? You have these things about minions. You hear it all the time. They're making these things all the time. It's something about minions. So basically it's like a Jewish code, right? Minions. It means something to them, Of course, Bronze Age is the same as the bronze serpent, which is basically Jesus. So this is something to do with obviously the first Jews who went to Europe. Of course, 3 columns there, like basically fraudulent ancient, fraudulent ancient civilization thing. And then newer. Of course, with this stuff, a lot of people who are like Christian people sort of support this stuff and all that, right? Because they didn't really know what to do. They just think it's good or something because someone tells them it's good. Oh, you're a Jewish priest or something, like or a Christian pastor or something, right? So they just think it's good and support all this stuff, but you don't know what it means. Like it means something different to them. So when it's to cleanse the earth of corruption, you don't really know what they're talking about. It could be to cleanse the earth of certain peoples who they despise as corrupt or something, It's all lies, like it's all backward, really. Pairs of every animal. Now we know what the animals is, of course. It's goyams. It's not talking about literal animals like giraffes and all that. It's talking about goyams. And that's basically the Masonic program. Save pairs of every animal, right? And then flood the rest. And they, basically cleanse the earth. Like ethnic cleansing idea, right? So, you know what's going on. It's going on now. It's going on now. It's what it is. Of course, renewal to them is, their trans medicine. This is metaphorically symbolising, like this is the outside world getting flooded, and this is the ones who are safe on board their program, their ark, which is obviously their Masonic and Jews and etc. Why got this character called this at this time? This Royal Oak Mariners. So the way they view it, see, is that they're safe from the floods which they're bringing upon humanity, right? One of the most famous these sailing boats, right? They call them the 12 ships, and they used to tour them around all the Britain schools, take the school kids to view them, and they call them Cutty Sock. Basically, that's the sock is again the Noah's Ark, the Quran and the Noah's Ark. Of course, the thing about the Minoan civilization, right, was the Minotaur. There was this half cow, half man thing, right? That's just, again, it's like a hybrid thing of using the cow hormones and that to make transfers, like Baphomet. Half man, half beast, hybrid, really. So these things was made a lot later than obviously claimed, right? Look at this, they've even coded it in, right? 2-3, right? 333, 2-3. Hybrid man ideas, which is coding in the trans program. Of course, like labyrinth and maze, right? Because it's confusion, and chaos, like chaos in it. The lab, like again the science laboratory, to cover up the science. Knossos thing, like gnosis, the gnosis is knowledge. So you're talking about the Knossos labyrinth. You're talking about disguising the scientific program. yeah, another coding thing here. You got like two sort of normal men on the outside the bull, and then a red man or something, yeah, leaping out of the bull. So again, this one's the trans. These ones are the normal type of ones each side of it type of thing. Like riding the bull. So you see, they all Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge. Right? So you're talking about the temple of Gnosos. It's basically a hidden knowledge. Right? So again, it's just like it's a complete fabrication. They're coding in that program of what they're doing. Right? Hidden, esoteric, specialized knowledge. Really blurred the concept of Christianity in the Bible. So like I was saying in the thing, when you get Christians supporting Bible and that, right, they don't even know what they're doing. It's about the hidden meanings and all that. You see Muhammad, you know, something to do with it as well. So again, when they're practicing this trans stuff, what they're doing is they're uniting the two aspects, male and female, moon and sun, and all this. And then they consider that to be escaped from this predicament, aspires to be freed by this predicament. So they consider themselves obviously better than the normal people. Basically, the idea of Jesus become the sun, and sprout off different churches and all this. And basically, it's covering the trans program. So basically, they're coding in the ideas now about the floods in Europe. Right? There's all these storms coming in and all, climate stuff and all this apparently. Right? But basically, this stuff would be to distract. Right? And obviously, a lot of this stuff would be constructed as well. Constructed staged setups and everything. In realities, right, this is what the flood, the Noah's Ark floods is about. It's about flooding Europe with third world immigrants. Right? And of course, they use any and every type of lie to justify bringing them in, right? And of course, it is not in any way seen or sensible or wanted by people or anything, but to try every single thing, every lie, every excuse, every reason to bring them in, right? So they want them in, and obviously, you can work out what that agenda will be, right? And they even had this a few years ago about mud floods. So basically we're putting the idea out into people's minds about mud floods, but we're associating it with some nonsense about like the buildings or whatever, right? Like saying that because buildings have got like basements or something, they were like an underground civilization or something, just ridiculous stuff. But what we're doing was putting out this mud flood thing. If you know racial slang words and that, right? A mud is obviously like a third world person, right? Basically, even got a tar, the tar, like touched with a tar brush, right? So the whole thing was a racial thing, but it was to disguise the racial ideas behind it with some BS about the lost empire of Tartaria, Again, like the Tartaria thing, a tart is obviously a whore, right? So again, it's like the great whore of Babylon. I was holding this goblet, which is their medicine. That's their trans medicine. See? Is the